What's going on, everyone? My name is Cynic, and welcome to another Is It Worth It episode here inside of Infinite Warfare Zombies. Now, a couple things I want to say right off the start. This and the Epic vs. Epic series isn't going to start back up quite yet until DLC 4 rolls around, but even though that's the case, I'm still going to be doing updated videos sometime this week, most notably the DCM-8 Masochist, the Reaver Machete, and the Raw Liberty, because I've been getting asked about those weapons, so expect an updated version of those Is It Worth It episodes coming out sometime this week, along with some more World War II videos. But with all that out of the way, welcome to episode number 27 here inside of the Is It Worth It series in Infinite Warfare Zombies. Today we're going to be talking about the Erad Cyclopean, which is probably one of the most interesting epics inside of this game, and in my opinion, one of the funnest to play with. Now, of course, the selling point of the Cyclopean is the particle beam trait, which, according to its description, releases a concentrated beam of energy, but in short, it ultimately replaces the way that your Erad would normally fire. So from firing, I guess, bullets, as you can call it, even though it's an energy-based weapon, it goes from that to firing a concentrated beam of energy. It also comes with a focus trait, which, again, like always, I can never tell too much of a difference inside of zombies, but I'm sure inside of multiplayer it does help out quite a bit. Now, back when I did the reviews on the Volk Retro and the Volk Goliath, I mentioned that those weapons were a little bit better than the basic Volk itself, but at the end of the day, they were still Volks and suffered from the same problems, which were ammunition. I think the same applies here for the Cyclopean. Cyclopean is definitely the best Erad variant inside of zombies when it comes to killing. I think it's even better than the Cerberus itself, which of course is the other epic Erad variant, but at the end of the day, it's still an Erad and you're still going to suffer from its same ammunition problems. And since the Cyclopean fires a beam of energy, it's not exactly like you can burst fire this thing or even use it semi-automatic, because it just does not work out. But moving on and talking a little bit about how the Cyclopean performs throughout the duration of a zombies game, I recommend you guys stay away from the Cyclopean early on in the game because, like I said, it's a little more efficient at killing and it has just the right amount of ammunition that you're actually gonna be taking all the points that you earn with the Cyclopean and reinvesting it back into the ammunition, so you're not really getting too much of a gain early on. So I recommend you guys go ahead and avoid this until you have Pack-a-Punch open and all your perks ready. And don't use the Cyclopean as a point builder because you're not really going to get many points with this gun. So once you have Pack-a-Punch open and you have your perks all set up and ready to go, then feel free to go ahead and pick up the Cyclopean and Pack-a-Punch it. I think once it's Pack-a-Punch and double Pack-a-Punch, kind of like how the Volk Retro kind of becomes an amazing gun, the Cyclopean turns out to be the same exact way. Yes, you're still plagued by ammunition problems, but with the damage buff and ammo buff that comes with having this weapon Pack-a-Punch, it's really not that much of a problem. You'll be able to hold out a round or two versus before you wouldn't even be able to make it a full round. And if you have your perks all set up like I recommended, then it just helps everything out to be a whole lot better. And I think it's at this point in time when the Cyclopean really starts to shine. So in this game, I ended up Pack-a-Punching at round 12, which normally is extremely early. I normally don't Pack-a-Punch until about round 18. But I think Pack-a-Punching that Cyclopean as early as possible is a really good idea because it helps get rid of, or at least limit, the drawbacks that this weapon normally has, like it being underpowered and not having enough ammo. So this is actually one of those rare instances where I actually recommend you Pack-a-Punch this gun as early as possible, and it does have a good amount of longevity to it. If you Pack-a-Punch it for the first time, for instance, for me, I packed it at round 12, it was good up until about round 18, then the ammunition was really getting strained, and I ended up Pack-a-Punching it again for the second time on 18. And if you want to go for a little bit of an extra punch, feel free to pick up Bang Bangs at any time. Again, earlier on, I wouldn't really recommend it. It's more of a good idea once you have the Cyclopean double Pack-a-Punch. Now, the Cyclopean's good double packed until about round 32. That's really pushing the limits, but it's good up until about that point. After that, you're going to have to be buying ammo every quarter of a full round. And it's because of this that if you're going for higher rounds, it really doesn't make the Cyclopean a viable option because you're always going to be having to buy ammunition, and it's just not very reliable. Now, to kind of wrap this up, if you guys do play a lot of Attack of the Radioactive Thing, I do recommend the purple element from Change Choose. It does seem to help regulate the ammunition on the Cyclopean a little bit better, considering that whenever that element takes effect, there's a little bit of a, I guess, explosion that kind of happens around the zombies, and it helps conserve Cyclopean ammunition. So I would recommend that element. Dewdrops is also a nice benefit, and I wouldn't ever really recommend hip firing this gun, even though it's got very tight hip spread. It's just weird with the Cyclopean because of the beam. It's just odd and how it tracks zombies while hip firing. Now, backtracking a little bit over to Spaceland, I didn't get a chance to try this out on all the elements, but I did try it out on the wind element, and I don't know, I kind of have mixed opinions about this. Obviously, the beam is removed and the Cyclopean starts firing regular quote-unquote bullets again, but it did seem to have a very high activation rate. So I guess that was a good way to balance it out. But anyways, is the Cyclopean Erad worth it? Personally, I would say yes. Like I said, massive fun factor. I think it's a notch above any other Erad variant with the exception of the Equinox. But if you guys didn't get a chance to get that out of the COD Days of Summer drop like I didn't, then you guys can't have that. And basically all it does is grant you a nuke, I believe. But I do think the Cyclopean is a nice improvement of the overall Erad altogether. But keep this in mind, when it boils down to it, it's still an Erad, so it's the best that you can get out of an Erad. If you guys want a good epic, I wouldn't really recommend you crafting the Cyclopean. I'd recommend you guys checking out other epic variants first, and only craft the Cyclopean if you want to improve the Erad itself. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, my name is Cynic. Thank you guys so much for watching and stopping by. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I do apologize as I feel like shit, and I'm sure that you guys were able to hear it in my voice this time around. I apologize. I try to make this coherent, but on my end, it kind of looked like it was all over the place. So I do hope that you guys were able to understand it. But anyways, like always, thank you guys so much for everything. I really do appreciate the amazing support. And I'll see you all next time with a brand new video.